Hi everyone! This is my very first episode of Get Ready With Me, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm about to go to my show tonight at Queer Bar, my usual Friday, Saturday gigs. Also introducing Toby, he'll be running around. I would like to record doing my makeup and kind of show you guys what my process is. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this segment. I'm gonna take you from this to this. I'll talk about the products that I normally use. These are a few of my favorites, so I'll list the items below and I'll also talk about them. So enjoy. First things first, I primed my face. First I moisturized, and I do use the Rihanna's Fenty Skin line. That one's really good. It smells really good. I feel like my skin really absorbs that really well. And then I'm gonna go ahead with the SMASHBOX primer. I got this at Sephora. Most of the products that I get, it's just easy if I go to one makeup outlet, if not another. This is really good. I get it right in where the pores are, so it kind of helps minimize it. I already have my extensions in, so what I'm gonna do is put my cute little headband. These are glasses, by the way. My little headband, and I'm going to just kind of push my hair back a little bit. I haven't done one in so long, so this is gonna be really fun. I already washed my beauty blender. I use this till I can't use it anymore. You know, it's starting to rip. That means it's good. It's a good blender. Again, Sephora. I look for the black ones because they're very easy to clean up. Oh, look at my little lashes on there. So, hey, I'm real. You should see my makeup station right now. It's like what all makeup stations should look like. I already cleaned some of my brushes, and I am gonna go and do my eyebrows first. I use the Anastasia brow pomade in medium brown. Now when we're doing brows, I tend to go obviously more dramatic because that's what being a drag queen is like. The drama of it all. So I'm not afraid to lay it on thick. You know, thicker than my normal brow, because again, we're going for drama. If you make a mistake, you can always clean it up. So this is how thick and how long I want to go. It might change just a tiny bit when I refine it, but other than that, this is some bitch brows. You could cut somebody. For all you beginners out there, do not be discouraged. I mean, I've been doing drag for about almost 9 years now, and I have had my rough days. You're gonna have those rough days. You just gotta push through, and you just gotta get better at it. Keep brushing it till they kind of look like sisters. I know there's that saying like they're sisters, not twins, but of course they're gonna be twins. Just a little bit. Now I'm gonna clean up my brows. There's gonna be a lot of cleaning up. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. No, sorry, I am a perfectionist. So the cleaning part is just to make sure that the shade stays nicely. That's literally what I'm aiming for. Now I'm using the Anastasia Magic Touch Concealer. This is concealer. This is the number 10. It goes well with my shade. I go for a little bit lighter because concealers tend to be a couple shades, if not at least one shade lighter than your natural. So Morphe brush, it just looks like this. Okay, so I take a little bit of the concealer and I'm gonna dab it, and I'm gonna start cleaning up the lines. The one thing I notice about when I do clean up my brows is that I hold my breath. I don't know why, it's just the thing that I do, and I think it's so that I stay, like my hand stays steady. I don't know, does anyone do that? Maybe I'm just weird. So I got the first shape in. It's already kind of like outlined for you to see. I really love the shape already, so I'm gonna try and match that. And we're going for those cunty brows. Not quite a bitch, but she's cunt, you know. I did use the brush to kind of like drag some of that concealer away from the brows, but not like touching the line. And this way, it makes the brow kind of pop a little bit more. And now I am just concealing around the eye area. After I do this part, I am going to set my face with translucent powder. Done. Next step, I'm gonna use the ONESIZE translucent powder. I have two shades. I have the translucent and I also have the sweet honey. It just works really well and it sets my face. It doesn't crack. It's just magic. Thank you, Patrick Star. Looking out for another Filipina. The great thing about this product is that you just use very little. I'll just tap a little bit off my brush and I am just setting the entire brow. Right, now that the brows are set, the next step is eye makeup. So I want to do a nice soft sultry look. I am gonna actually use my contour powder, which is the MAC Studio Fix powder in NW58. When you want to do sultry looks, you want to use kind of like a medium color and also the darker color, and then of course the darkest, which is black. You want to build on that, so then you're creating that nice soft smoke, that nice sultry like look. I'm gonna use the NC50. Again, this is the Studio Fix powder in NC50. I'm gonna use this as kind of like drawing out where I want to do the eye makeup. So I'm thinking of like, this is the outside part of the smoke area, and then in the middle part, it's gonna be the darker shade, which is gonna be the contour. And then the middle part is where I'll smoke out the black. So it's gonna be this nice ombre effect. Yeah, it's really fun to do. So I'm gonna build on these different shades. So I'm gonna use a MAC powder. I have used this for my contour concealer, sorry, when I used to have a beard, and now I don't have a beard, not too much. I don't need to contour or conceal it, which is amazing. So now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna create kind of like, we're going for a dramatic look. So I'm gonna start soft and I'm gonna build on that. I do like to do the windshield wiper motion, but you gotta also make sure that the amount of product you're using is not too much. So just little at a time. Make sure that you do have enough time to do this makeup, because, you know, I mean, if you are on your way to a gig, I mean, yes, there are times where you just have to like put on the makeup real quick. I suggest that you find your top 3 fastest looks that you love the most and master it. So in this way, you know, like if you're ever in a rush, you just go to default 1, default 2, default 3. Yeah. Okay, so I am doing more so like a V kind of shape, and then into my crease. Well, I'm gonna create a crease, so kind of like the whole canvas right here. You want to make sure that that's gonna be really defined, and then take this and drag it out. Drag it, pun intended. Okay, now I'm gonna do it to the other eye. Now the one thing I always keep in mind is that I want to stay focused right here in the corner, because that's where it kind of tends to go up, and then this kind of drags out this way. So the products that I'm going to use are going to be focused right in that little V area, or Y, depending how what you say it is. Oh, she's sultry already. Oh my god. I'm ready for my drag brunch. You know, I always envied. I know, envy is such a strong word. The girls who could get ready in like 15 minutes. But now, I'm still not that girl. But you know why? Because I like to take my time, and I'm a perfectionist, so tis the life. Lovely. Okay, so we're already kind of seeing that like sultry, smoky look. I just look like, you know, I'm a brown raccoon or something. I don't know. All right, next up, we're gonna go with that second layer. I'm using the MAC Studio Fix powder in NW58. This is my contour powder. This is pretty dark for my skin tone. See that? But it's so yummy. It's like ganache, you know, like a little bit of chocolate, cocoa, mocha. That's my flavor right now. I'm loving some chocolate. Really, I really like chocolate. Which is funny, I never used to be too much of a sweet person. Sweet tooth. I've always been a sweet person, just not quite a sweet tooth person. Okay. And again, I am focusing in this area. Do you see that coming together already? So don't be afraid. I am just literally tapping. Tap, tap, tapping. And I'm putting this product right here. Now, there are times where I use too much, so I kind of like have to tap it back into here. You'll see a lot of makeup artists do that because getting on a specific amount of powder on here is gonna work the best for them. So however they choose to get in there, that's their thing. And once I tap that powder in, I'm also dragging it down into the eyelid and then back up again. I'm going to blend this area right here. Yeah, just lightly. So now the pressure of my brush is a lot more lighter. I just want it to marry with the last one I did. And also do like a circular motion. I like to look at it as I'm going a really long oval shape. So I'll be going like this. Yeah, that works for me. You definitely want to get a feel of how you are comfortable with blending. So get that practice in and you will become faster. So we're already getting there. I am loving this. Okay, I'm gonna do the other eye off camera. I did the other side and I added an extra step. I'm gonna take this brush. This is by MAC. It's one of these soft pointy brushes. And I'm gonna carve, or I'm gonna start focusing another windshield wiper motion into where I feel is my bone. So it's gonna carve this nice shape right here, and we're gonna clean up the eyelid for the dramatic effect. This part, you're okay to apply a little bit heavier pressure because we want to make sure we're dragging that out. So it's like you're already contouring your bone. You see how that changed this middle part right here? It's like magic. I don't know what to tell you. Now we're gonna go in with black. I'm gonna go in with carbon. I wasn't able to get the individual pots, so they gave me the insert and I just bought this cute little 2-piece pot thing. I'm going in with the same type of brush, just a second one. I always have multiple because I tend to like certain ones for specific blending and they just work. So that's another tip for you, is to get multiple of your favorite brushes, because why not? Now I'm gonna go in with the black and I'm gonna put it right in that corner. Again, this is the third step into creating that nice sultry look we're going for. We're gonna start very, very slow because I could easily mess this up and I don't want to. So I'm gonna go ahead and just mark the other side so I remember what to follow afterwards. Again, we're gonna work with this and we're gonna do the same motion. We're gonna create that V, do a little bit of dragging out. So my tip for this part is to do very, very little. Tap that brush as much as you need to and just slowly move that black out, smoke it out. Again, as you move away from the eye, lighter strokes and lighter blending motion. Okay, so I did both eyes. I smoked it out quite a bit and focused the black right in that same area again, and just for the last touch, so you can see where it starts to just spread out really nicely. And now the next step is I'm gonna clean out the lid part. So I'm gonna create that little crease, and what I'm gonna go in with is another MAC brush. This one I can read, it says MAC 228. So now I am going in, and you can use whatever shade. Sometimes if it's a day look, I'll go in with my concealer to clean it out, but right now I want dramatic. So I'm going in with the MAC Full Coverage Foundation in white. And I'm gonna kind of dot it out. This is how I wanna make sure it's the same on both eyes. So I'm gonna do the other eye. Can always make sure. So I start out with 3, and then I kinda tap a little bit more, and I go in between. You see that? Magic. Now I am just doing a windshield wiper motion. I lightly just brush it out, creating a little tail. You see that? I'm gonna do it on the other side as well. Connect the dots and then brush out that little tail into the makeup. Now once I get the makeup all aligned, I start to bring in that white into the lid itself. So I'm brushing it inward. You can see I am just creating that canvas using the same amount of makeup I just applied it on. So you can use, you can go over it again one more time if you really want it to be super white. The lid is bright enough for me, to my liking, so we're gonna go with that. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set my lid. So I really tried hard not to look up for this part. I am gonna take a MAC, what number is this? A MAC brush 239. I really like this for white powders, and it has just the amount of space that I need to pick up the product. Now this is the MAC Studio Fix powder, again in white. I'll show you how it looks like. There you go. I'm just gonna take a little bit of the product, do a little tappy tap. So where I press first is where I apply that white, and then I tap downwards onto my lid. So I want to make sure I get that product right underneath that nice line. And then I tap the rest of that product into my lid. And there you go. Okay, next is the fun part. I really like refining my makeup after I've done this process. It just brings joy to my heart because, again, I am a perfectionist, so I get to kind of clean up my lines, but I'm gonna clean up my lines using more makeup. With the black, that carbon eyeshadow, and I'm gonna tap along the line. Let me just do it for you guys. I'm gonna just tap starting inward, and I'm gonna go over it a couple times up to the last part. Now, did you see how like it cuts that makeup already? So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna repeat it on the other side and make sure it's even. And then I'm gonna start to sort of drag it into the shadow, just very lightly, not to like create another line in there, but just to kind of marry it again. Again, we're playing with light and dark shades here. And now I'm gonna blend it out. I'm gonna take that same brush, the black one, and I'm gonna diffuse the top of that shadow. This is gonna help me blend it in. So now I have created a darker crease using the same shades, the 3 shades that I've been using now plus the white. And we are just creating more of that contour, that definition, that defined eyelid area. The look for the eyelid makeup, just for now, I will add some glitter later on towards the end. That's gonna be the fun part. It's gonna just add that extra pop of the color, the lid, the look, everything. The next step after doing the eyes, we're gonna go back in with the Anastasia concealer in shade 10. And this one I'm just gonna apply directly on my skin, where you would normally want to conceal like the dark areas. I'm literally just layering like makeup on here because I know that it might crack. It's gonna happen. I wanna make sure that all these areas are taken care of and I'm not having to worry about any darkness around this area or here. This is the process, guys. Get into it. The one thing that I love about makeup and putting on makeup is the fun I get out of just like playing with it. And you know what? I laugh at myself because I look crazy, right? I look kind of crazy, but it all makes sense later on. It really, really does. So sometimes you gotta look crazy before you look sexy. And I'm basically just blending in all of this contour in. What's important is that when you do wash your brushes that you squeeze out all that water as much as you can into a paper towel. You're gonna use the paper towel to help you clean your brushes along the way and keep your station clean at all times. I am just patting it. I'm just blending it out on top of my cheekbone area. Next step is foundation. I just started using the ONESIZE foundation because I wanted to try a different type of makeup. I normally just only have MAC, and you know, it's good to like have options out there in case, you know, your favorite product is off the shelf. You want to be able to have knowledge on other brands that work just as well. I used to use the MAC foundation, the waterproof foundation. That just melts with my skin perfectly. It has the right consistency. I have to blend 2 shades together to get close to my natural tone. So it's a little bit of an extra step for me, but hopefully out there it's gonna be easy for you. Now, I am using the 2 different foundations, the medium 2 and medium 3. Why? This one has more of a yellowy gold tone. This one has a pink tone. So when I use X amount of each, it just sets the canvas right. I can't use too much of the pink alone, and I can't use too much of the gold because I will be super yellow and that's not cute. Okay, so it took me a while to kind of get this little lid thing, but I know that you can just pop, you can just like pop this tab. I like to take the whole thing off because it's more cleaner, honestly. And I'm gonna show you how much of this foundation I use. It's crazy. I might even be using too much, but no one told me. No one showed me the way. So I learned. And all I'm using is just these 2 little pea-sized things. And I'm gonna just, you know, do a little mixy here. Perfect. So because I use so much of this product, I am literally just gonna be dabbing. Dabbing all around. So after I do that, I just do long strokes. so that my face is covered in it. So now that I've moved the product around, I'm gonna be dragging this foundation around first, and then I'm going to blend it. I'm gonna pat it dry. Why? Because I found out that this helps it really get into the skin. So when I'm using the MAC foundation, it's quite different. I can just literally blend that foundation into my skin, no problem. This one requires a little bit of like smudging, and then you do the little blending so that it just looks very clean. Okay, next up is gonna be a fun one for you guys. I'm gonna go back in with the white foundation, the full coverage white foundation, and I'm using a MAC brush. This is 257 or 237. 287, one of those sevens. I love this brush. It's great for like cream foundation. It picks up all the products really nicely, and I'm just gonna swirl it in there. Not too much product, honestly, and that's all I need. Now I'm going to go in and I'm gonna do what I feel like the concealer would do on this canvas. So I am literally painting on my war face. Now this is the part of the face that I really want it to be really bright. It's stage makeup, so it's gonna show up really cunt when it's all together. So now I'm gonna start blending it all out. So like the eye makeup, you wanna make sure that where you're blending it, you're blending out that amount of makeup outwards. You kind of want to slowly blend that out. So I got this technique. This is sort of like an old school technique where they do use the whitest foundation to create that highlight. And when you're marrying it with your foundation, you know, it just becomes more like it's natural but glorious. Yeah, that's how I would describe it. And voila, we have created the highlights of my face. We're gonna make it pop. Next step is we're gonna go in with the contour cream. I'm using the MAC Full Coverage Foundation. This one is an NW45. I believe this is the darkest it comes in. So now I'm going in with another MAC foundation brush. I like this one because it just scoops up the product that I need it to. And this shape is like perfect for my contour. You know, I don't need anything bigger, or I need to work with anything smaller. It just does the thing. If I want it to be thinner, I just turn it to the side and it's like this nice thin kind of consistency. But for my contour, I'm gonna go in with just right about there. Here. Same amount of makeup. I'm just dragging it down. And I'm doing slight strokes underneath the jaw to create a much more deeper contour, and it just makes the jaw just pop more. I'm gonna use a little bit to contour my nose, just a little bit, because I'm gonna go over it again with powder, and I just wanna have a nice foundation to follow. And whatever leftovers, I'm gonna just do that to the top of my head, do a little contour. Sometimes I'll change my mind and I wanna drag out that contour line just a bit more. And this is it. Now we're gonna blend this up. I like to start with the cheeks first because this is where I put the most, and then I can sort of carve out that contour. Just like that. Now when you're getting to the jaw area, I'm gonna make sure I kind of smudge it downwards first, because I don't want that line to go any further up. And then blending it afterwards diffuses the strokes that you see. So it's just gonna add a little bit of depth in my jawline area. And there you go. I blended out all my lines. You can see where I put the most product is normally right here to cut the cheekbone area. Okay, and we're ready for baking. We're gonna bake some brownie. Now we're gonna go in with the translucent powder, and we're gonna like put it all over your face, but also add extra products right underneath the eye and the highlight areas. So I'm gonna do that off camera, but I'm gonna show you my face. Once again, I'm using the ONESIZE translucent powder. Magic, get yours today. Stock up. Boo. Okay, so I basically powdered the whole face, but what I did first is I touched right here in these areas. This powder tends to leave a little bit of a lighter outcome, so I do a little bit of a cut in there. It sits really nicely, and I don't have to think about like cutting underneath the cheek, just to bring the definition of my contour. But it works really well. Try this trick, it's amazing. So now we're just gonna bake for like 10 minutes. What I can do during this time is take a look at my eyeshadow and just tweak on it a little bit. Okay, so I did skip a little bit of a step. I only dusted off the, hold on. There's this little lid that was just tickling me, Okay, so I went ahead and I just dusted off all the translucent powder. Now it's gonna be prominent where I put the most of it, so that was great. It worked to like how I wanted it to. I feel that lint, oh my god. So I went in with the Studio Fix NC41. This is the close to my shade, so I'm not even gonna like fuss with using multiple shades, okay? I went ahead and I just pat everywhere. So same thing, we are still creating more definition, but we are now adding back the color into the same areas. So like on the top for the forehead, I did a little bit, not too much underneath my eye. I did a little bit over the contour, just so it has more warmth in there. And then also right where I did a little cut crease there. You can see it just a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna go back in with my contour, my favorite contour powder. You can go in with your medium color, same thing like what we did. I am just gonna skip that because I just wanna go from that cut contour. I am not afraid to just go in with the darker stuff, so we're just gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna grab my hair out of my way by blending it down. Same motion that we applied the contour in the beginning. And like the top of my lid area where we focus that black, we're gonna focus it right where that what is this called? Sideburns. Perfect. Okay. So I'm still doing this dragging down motion because I want to use up all that product on the brush. I can softly blend it outwards. Do a little back and forth motion, tap a little bit, Now with the jawline area, and I'll show it on this side, I'm gonna go a little bit higher than my actual jaw because I want the appearance of a smaller jaw. Smaller face means a little bit more feminine. I don't know, again, I don't make up the rules, but it does look cute. So just follow with me on this, okay? So right there, I am just creating that line. I'm following literally the same contour line I used to apply with the cream contour. And I'll buff that out. See that? I'm gonna leave it a little bit more harsh right now because I still have some product on this brush that I want to use up here. So just right by the temple area and the hairline, I can kind of diffuse that out and make it more natural looking. Now it's okay if you go down a little bit into where the lighter part is because I'm gonna go back in. Again, this is part of my refining process with the white powder. Here, now that most of the product is kind of distributed around my face, I can go in and I can do circular motions to blend out the line. So just a little bit softer. If I feel like it's a little bit too much, I'll go in with a smaller brush. This is a 109 brush from MAC. And I'm gonna just like really get in that line and just rub that in there. Normally what I use this specific brush for is this purpose. It's just to blend out the harsher lines. I also sometimes use this for the medium color. So the NC50. I'll use it to kind of blend it out. But the contour looks pretty good. If I need to, after I put on the blush, I will definitely add more of the contour. So now we get to put on the blush. This is Telling Glow, again from MAC. This is the extra dimension blush because it has more of a like metallic-y, more glittery reflect on it. It's gorgeous, let me tell you. And this is gonna add more warmth to my face on the cheekbone areas. Normally I do like a crisscross thing. Afterwards you'll see it. So I'll just pat the product right above the contour area. Now I wanna use one go, and if I need to add more, then I will continue to dip in here. Normally when I'm not recording my makeup, I do each side by side. I don't wait to do one side first and then finish the other. This is just for you guys and education purpose. So again, I'm gonna go back in. I'm mindful of how much times I dip into this because it can come out really, really orange, but that's okay. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I can't even tell. Just looks so natural. So I'm gonna go in one more time right at the apples of my cheek. I feel like it could use a little bit more there. I think that is just beautiful. Oh my God. She's a woman. Okay. And now that that is done, I said I was gonna go back in with the white. Oh, oh, sorry. So now I'm gonna go back in with the white Studio Fix powder, and I'm gonna touch up right here. Actually, I can do that with you guys. And you make a face like this because it helps to stretch the skin out a little bit more. I go in a triangle motion. I go in a triangle shape, just like that. And I make sure I pat it into this area. Again, we're gonna continue to build on that dimension. Now with the same white, I am going on the bridge of my nose. And I am just tapping right at the tip. I'm gonna blend the white out because this is not the final look. Once I've blended all down, I'll just continue to drag it down. So same areas that I put the white concealer foundation, I'm doing that with the white powder, and a little bit by the chin because we want to highlight that chin later. No, just drag it, and a little bit right above the lip, just for dimension, just for lighting purposes. It's coming together. Look, I want to add a little bit more of the contour just to make that cheekbone pop a little bit more. Now we're gonna go back in with that contour powder, NW58. I'm gonna tap it just a little bit because now I'm gonna contour my nose. And I'm also gonna go on the very side of the top of the bridge. And that's gonna create a more slender nose. Pageantry has definitely helped refine my skills, and repetition has definitely helped with a lot of refinement. That's why never give up on yourself. Even if you did a really horrible job on your makeup, there's always next time. So don't be too hard. You can only do as best as you can, and you're only gonna get better. I'm just gonna do couple passes, tap a little bit. I don't plan on doing the same amount, so I'm just literally gonna stroke it down again, just like that. I'm gonna use this brush to blend out the harsh line again. Perfect. Next step, I'm gonna go back in with my NC41 foundation powder. I'm going to now just tap and try to diffuse a lot of the dark. Like when I brought that contour down, I knew that I wanted to help diffuse it. And I'm gonna define this little cut area with the foundation again. And I'm doing little pats around that same area. The fun part is highlight. I am using my very first Pat McGrath Divine Glow highlighter. Tell me why I chose this highlighter? Because honey, it's what I am. I am using this really cool double-sided makeup brush. I use it specifically for highlight on this end, and I also use this for my contour, like defining my nose. So now we're gonna tap a lot of it on the cheek. What I love about this product is you can build on it. Like it's buildable. It's brilliant. It's gorgeous. Come from the top of the cheekbone, and I'm dragging this gorgeous divine highlighter outwards because I really want it to pop. Put a little bit by the chin. Okay. See how they just like softly, it's almost like that very glowy effect. I'm gonna put a little bit, no, I'm gonna put a lot right at the tip of my nose. Oh, yes, and right on the bridge, and a little bit on top of the lip. Because these are the high points of the face and you wanna accentuate it. Oh my gosh. Ugh. This look is coming together. This makes me so happy, and I know that you're gonna enjoy the process. Like once the lashes and everything go on, it's just magic. Here's my trick. I am going to show all of you. I literally use eyeliner for my brows. I have dark hair, so I want my eyebrows to be that much more cut. So now I'm gonna follow the same shape. I might elongate the eyebrow. I mean, how am I feeling today? I'm feeling divine, I'm feeling cunt. So that eyeliner, the eyebrow is gonna be cunt as well. I draw an outline of how, you see the difference? I mean, I just follow that first one, but I take it up just a little bit more. I bring that tail out, just like that. After this has dried, I'm gonna use the black eyeshadow and I'm gonna actually press on the brow itself, and it's gonna really make it pop. Also gonna start drawing a little bit of an eyeliner here with the black, and I'm gonna set it again with the black eyeshadow. Everyone, I am gonna update you on what I just did. I did use I did use my liner, and I played with shadow, and I just elongated that liner. Now the actual liner only goes up to here, but with a bit more of contour, shadow, and you know, like really dragging that black out, it makes the eyeliner from afar look longer, but it really isn't. Now what I had started doing was coloring in the brow. So I started with this shape. I haven't set the black in just yet because I wanted to show you guys. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, I promise. I wanted to show you guys that I basically colored in my brow with the brown. So like where my actual brow is, I'm gonna go in with that contour powder. Now like a gradient, I'm definitely focusing more of the product here, and I'm dragging that product out towards the front to create more of an ombre effect. So now I'm gonna press the black where I use the eyeliner, and then I'm gonna cover the tip of my tail. So now it's gonna disappear into that new liner, and now that becomes my eyebrow. Now we're gonna blend that black into the dark part of the brown, and that's literally it. You just kind of play with keeping this part, the lightest brown to the dark brown, taking that black and then just blending it into the other side. Now I'm gonna clean it up. I see a little bit of fallout, which is okay. I'm gonna use this cute little mascara one and brush up my brow. Just a little bit. So it's out of the way. I'm gonna clean up the brows with the concealer brush. I am actually gonna use a little bit of the foundation now. I'm not gonna use that same concealer I did in the beginning, because this now matches my face more. So now this will act as my concealer. And I'm just gonna be very particular and very careful when I'm carving and defining my brows, because this is gonna be it. Now I'm gonna do the top part. And again, I'm gonna hold my breath because that's what I do. Keep a steady hand. Oh, it's coming together. Just something about creating clean lines, it's just so satisfying. And just like that. These are my signature brows. Ladies and gentlemen and everyone in between. Okay, so here's a great trick. Like this. Gonna go in with my Pat McGrath highlighter once again, and I'm gonna use a 208. This is an angled brush from MAC. I am going to tap a little bit of that, and I'm gonna draw right underneath that brow, just to highlight underneath it, just to give it some more lift, you know. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. I got this Pat McGrath highlighter at Sephora, so feel free to get yours there. There's like other different shades, not too much of a selection, but I found one where I feel like it'll work with every single look that I have. I love this one so much. Again, you can use it on your day-to-day kind of makeup. It's very light, but as you use more, you can build more. And honey, we are going for it. It's getting there. I love it. Okay. For my lips, I am gonna go in with the brow pomade. Why? Because this is a dark shade and I know that the lips are gonna just stay. They're not gonna smear in any way. I don't have to worry about it. It's just gonna stay put and it's gonna make my lips defined. Beginning, I moisturize my lips. I use Aquaphor, it's the best. Put that on before anything, same time that I put on my moisturizer. And now I'm gonna go on the outside of my lips and I'm gonna do a little bit of an ombre effect, and you will see that in just a couple seconds. I'm gonna show you how big my bottom lip just became. It's crazy. I had a piercing, a labret piercing a long time ago. Would never close, so I literally take that that line and all the way to the labret piercing. Kind of crazy. And then right in the corners, I'm gonna smudge it inward to create that ombre effect. See that? Damn, she's juicy. Okay, I wanted to do half of it so you can see the difference from my natural lip and going over. How much more bigger can for the other side. And there you go. I just outlined it. Now I am going to clean up the lip first before I put on the actual lip color. Just a tiny little bit of refinement really makes a difference, really. So take your time. When you're learning and you're trying to just perfect your technique, give yourself some time. Don't rush into it. You'll get there, honestly. It's about having fun in the process, because when you learn something new, you'll be surprised on how excited you get. I mean, I do. I get excited, it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna try this look. It blows my mind every single time. Now, just like the brow, when I know I've put quite a bit of product right at that line, I'm gonna use the brush and try to like smudge the concealer off of the foundation. Perfect. Okay, we are ready to do lips. I chose NYX Liquid. I like the liquid ones because I like the consistency. These ones dry matte. They're perfect. If you're not a gloss type of girl, I mean, matte liquid lips are great. So this is gonna be a nice medium rosy color. And then we're gonna go in with a lighter tone right in the middle area. Now, I'm gonna go in with white. I'm gonna use my finger, okay? The white foundation from MAC, just a little bit. And I'm gonna dab it right in the middle and then I'm gonna blend it, just like how I did with the Beauty Blender. Kind of reminds me of Queen Amidala, you know? So now that I applied the product on, I'm gonna wipe my finger. And I'm just gonna tap in the middle and then blend outwards. Tap in the middle and then blend outwards. I am sorry that I am flipping you guys off, but it's not my intention. I literally like to use my middle finger. So I move it just a little bit outwards that way. And again, I wipe my finger just a little bit. And now I go from where this is and I blend it into the darker parts. And there you go. I created an ombre lip. So I did a little bit of refining on my makeup. I did the outliner, and again, I set it with black eyeshadow, and I used that contour powder to give it a little bit of a tiny smoke. And I went in with my white foundation, and I also used this brush from MAC to, like a really tiny paintbrush. This one is I think this is 200. So it's really, really tiny. This gets that really nice detailed look. So right underneath my eyeliner, I used the white and then I just smeared it to kind of make that pop and that separation. I also did a little bit of a triangle, bringing in that liner a little bit more in, and then also cleaning it up with the white. So I put this on my lid. It's the Dazzle Shadow Liquid from MAC. This one is one of my favorites, or actually this is probably my favorite because it goes with everything. This one is not afraid to sparkle. I mean, have you met me? I really love anything that sparkles. It just brings joy to my life. And I want it to bring joy to your life. So going in with the MAC 228 brush. This is like a tiny little lip pencil. I use it for applying my eyeshadows. So instead of using the actual applicator, I'm going in because I can be a little bit more detailed and have more control with the amount of product I put in. I like to focus more on the middle part, and now I'm gonna go back in. Once I did both sides, I'm gonna add a little bit more, because why not? Gorgina, love that. You can use any product that you have for anything. Sometimes I'll put on my cheekbones, I'll put on my lips. Do whatever you want with it, but mainly I do this for my eyeshadow, and it just goes with everything. Whether you're wearing gold or silver, it just has everything. Whether you have blue, this has it all. Just go get it, just get it. Now that that's done, the last thing I need to do is pop some lashes on. But before I do that, so not the last thing, last part, which has multiple things on it. This is the Intense Dimension Waterproof. The wand itself, it's pretty like straightforward, so just be careful when you're applying this one, because I have hooked my eye in it. It's not fun. Okay. I swear, I never like hear any noise from my neighbors, and today of all days, of all nights, they decide to have a party in the middle of my tutorials, so yay you. Okay, so I'm gonna apply these lashes off camera, and I'm gonna tell you what I did. Okay everyone, I am back. I just put on the lashes off camera. These are actually Ardell lashes. I did double stack them, triple stack, quadruple stack, whatever, just to get more of a dramatic lash. I used to use 301 lashes. They're just not for me anymore. That's all I gotta say about that. I wanted to also show you the white eye pencil. This is the eye pencil I use in my waterline. It really makes eyes a little bit more doll-like. It's really amazing. So now for the piece de resistance. Did I say that right? I don't know. But the Morphe setting mist. This smells so beautiful. I could sniff this all day, or I could just like douse my face and not have makeup on just to smell it. But this is gonna be great because this sets my face. I have no worries for the rest of the night, even if I sweat. This makes the makeup last that much more longer. So get yours at Ulta, and I'm gonna just protect the hair-ish. Just wanna make sure that I'm covered the top part, cheek, underneath, here, and the middle of my face. This is the final look, guys. Hi everyone, thank you for getting ready with me. I had so much fun teaching you all my personal techniques, my routine of getting into drag. I feel like you can use this for an everyday look. You know, you just never know how you feel like. Could probably do this drag makeup for like a wedding or any special event. But thank you again so much for being with me. If you like what I do, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'm feeling new, I'm feeling happy, and I want to celebrate this with you all through my YouTube channel. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Mwah. Spread love and light.